All rise. This court reconvene. You may be seated.
Your Honor, calling from our 10 o'clock calendar at 1 and 2, Jean Tamashiro.
Good morning, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Andrew Sun, together with Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Hilo Courthouse for this case.
Good morning. And then, sir, you want to state your name for the record?
Thank you, Mr. Robert. As the Creator, God is my eternal witness. I, Gene of the family Tamashiro, embrace all gifts given by God, repent all transgressions against God, and waive all false claims that are without God. Truth is sovereign. Amen. I'm a Hawaiian national in full process of abjuration and renunciation from the occupying corporations, and with that, I would like to enter your ship.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. So, Mr. Sun, ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, State's witnesses are present. We are prepared to proceed.
Mr. Tamashiro, you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right. So let's address Mr. Tamashiro's motion to dismiss that was filed on May 2nd, 2023. While it's titled Nation to Nation Pretrial Motion, Special Appearance at Third Circuit of the State of Hawaii, I am treating it as a motion to dismiss. And then, Mr. Sun, I did receive the state's memo in opposition filed June 5th, 2023, as well as Mr. Tamashiro, your response filed June 9th, 2023. So, Mr. Tamashiro, it is your motion. Anything further regarding your motion to argue?
I'm here under ongoing duress. My duress has been for over 10 years now, and I make claims, I speak them, I put it in writing, I autograph it, I show up flesh and bone under duress. Why do I say duress? Is because when I make a claim, the prosecutor must respond and rebut to the claims point for point. That never happens. My most basic claim is this, and we've all been waiting 130 years for somebody to produce truth that the state of Hawaii actually possesses a lawful treaty of annexation. That's never happened because none exists. We were born into this. Also, bring proof. If the state of Hawaii claims to own the land at Kamehameha statue in Hilo, then they need to bring proof besides bringing just a TMK and making that statement. Claims are welcome, but proof is required. Evidence and proof of claim is required. No one is above the law. So once again, I'm here. You're treating it as a motion. I rebuke that. It's not a motion because the state, the prosecutor, and the court has not actually proven personal, subject matter, or territorial jurisdiction. And if you can do that, I'm all ears. Thank you. I make a claim, I bring evidence. Somebody else make a claim, they must bring evidence. So I'm disappointed, I am not surprised that Prosecutor Song has nothing more to say. He has a lot more to say. He has to respond and rebut point for point all of my claims. I have done that for him, and I have brought my evidence of my claim. He can't just sit down. If he just sits down, I'm done, and I should walk out of here. Walk right out, because I make a claim, you don't respond or rebut, you have acquiesced to my claim. And this has been going on, in my case, over 10 years. A lot of Hawaiians, same thing. So, respectfully, I will continue under duress for lack of substantive due process. But I will do so as God is my witness that maybe he has a plan that I'm not aware of. God bless you all.
All right. So, regarding the pretrial motion, the court, having reviewed Mr. Tamashiro, your motion filed May 2nd, 2023, that was titled Nation to Nation Pretrial Motion, Special Appearance at Third Circuit of the State of Hawaii, which the court is treating as a motion to dismiss.
How can you do that, Judge Lawbaugh?
I'm making my ruling, so I let you talk. You gotta let me talk, right? Okay. So I also reviewed the state's memo in opposition filed June 5th, 2023, and also, Mr. Tamashiro, your response that was filed on June 9th, 2023. Based on review of the pleadings and arguments of the parties, the court will make the following findings of fact, conclusions of law. When a finding of fact can be construed as a conclusion of law, it is so intended. When a conclusion of law can be construed as a finding of fact, it is so intended. So the court's going to make the following findings of fact. Defendant was arrested and charged on December 18, 2022 with the following offenses: geological, prohibited acts regarding geological features in violation of section 13-146-23 of the Hawaii Admin Rules, as well as public property in violation of section 13-146-32G. That's also listed in the complaint that's filed. The court will take judicial notice of the complaint that was filed December 19, 2022. So, that those offenses are punishable by a maximum 30 days of jail and or $1,000 fine. So the court will also conclude that the Constitution of the State of Hawaii vests judicial power in the various courts, including the district court. District courts shall have jurisdiction of, and their criminal jurisdiction is limited to criminal offenses punishable by a fine and or imprisonment not exceeding 1 year, whether with or without a fine. That's HRS section 604-8A. Court will further conclude in State versus Kilauea. Defendant argued courts of the state of Hawaii lack subject matter jurisdiction over his criminal prosecution because the defense proved the existence of the Hawaiian Kingdom and the legitimacy of the state of Hawaii government. However, the Hawaii Supreme Court rejected Kilauea's claim and held that pursuant to HR 701-106, the state's criminal jurisdiction encompasses all areas within the territorial boundaries of the state of Hawaii. Because Mr. Thomas Sherrill, hold on here, let me make my findings and then I'll allow you to respond. Because the state is charging Mr. Thomas Sherrill your conduct based in the District of South Hilo County and State of Hawaii, the court is going to make the findings and conclusions that you're subject to criminal jurisdiction in this case. The Hawaii Supreme Court reaffirmed Kilauea in the holding in State versus Fergusstrom, 106 Hawaii 43, page 55, and 101 Pacific 3rd, 652, page 664, Appellate Court 2004, that whatever may be said regarding the lawfulness of its origins, the state of Hawaii is now a lawful government. Furthermore, the Hawaii Supreme Court reaffirmed State versus Kilauea, and in the matter of contested case hearing regarding conservation district use application 143 Hawaii 379, pages 399 to 400, Supreme Court case 2018, stated, and also stated that like Hawaii, Texas was also admitted as a state through joint resolution of Congress. The United States Supreme Court in DeLima versus Bidwell, 182 U.S. 1, page 196, 1901, gave tacit recognition to the legitimacy of the annexations of Texas and Hawaii by joint resolution. So based upon the United States Supreme Court's holdings, it has indicated that the process by which Hawaii was incorporated into the United States was lawful and binding. This court as trial court must follow the rulings of the Hawaii State Appellate Courts as well as the rulings of the Hawaii State United States Supreme Court. In this case, like Kilauea, Mr. Thomas Sherrill, you're based on alleged conduct that happened within the District of South Hilo County and State of Hawaii, and you are subject to prosecution, criminal prosecution in the State of Hawaii. This court does have subject matter jurisdiction, and I am going to deny your motion to dismiss.
Is anybody above the law? Nobody's above the law? Is anyone above the law in this room?
Is that your statements? I'm not answering.
No, it's a
any
question.
questions. I'm not answering any questions.
You're not answering any question, okay?
So
And-
I made
okay,
my
so
ruling.
let me just read something, because you have cited state law, state
And-
Supreme
and
Court, and you've
United
cited the
States-
United States Court.
Supreme
Okay,
Court,
whatever.
yes.
Here's the
Not
pro-
whatever. That's my ruling.
Well, no,
So-
that's a ruling, but it's you actually perjuring your oath, and let me show you why. Okay, a conflict of interest is a situation in which a person or organization or a government is involved in multiple interests, financial or otherwise. Serving one interest could involve working against another. Typically, it relates to situations in which interests of an individual or government services corporation might adversely affect the duty owed to the people of Hawaii. That would be Hawaiians and Americans alike. Typically, a conflict of interest arises when an individual finds themselves occupying two social roles simultaneously, which generate opposing benefits or loyalties. The interest involved can be pecuniary or non-pecuniary. The existence of such conflicts is an objective fact. A conflict of interest is an objective fact, not a state of mind. It is important that the contending interests be clearly identified. Clearly, you said State of Hawaii Supreme Court, and you said United States whatever court. You guys are in the same occupying corporation. That's a proof of conflict of interest. So the ruling that the state of Hawaii does, because they're on the same payroll as you guys, and the United States Corporation, same thing, conflict of interest. So it is important that the contending interests be clearly identified, which I just did, and the process for separating them is rigorously established. A widely used definition is, conflict of interest is a set of circumstances that creates a risk that professional judgment or actions regarding a primary interest, which is to serve and protect in the truth and the law, to fairly adjudicate a particular controversy, we're in a particular controversy, will be unduly influenced by a secondary interest, the state of Hawaii Supreme Court or the United States, whatever court. Primary interest refers to the principal goals of the profession or activity. We are here to pursue the truth, ladies and gentlemen, such as the protection of clients and our unalienable rights, the health of patients, the integrity of research, and the duties of public officers. You have pledged to serve and protect in the truth and the law. The United States Constitution is the highest law in the land, and I'm particularly mentioning Article 6, Clause 2 of the U.S. Constitution, supremacy of treaties, and in this case, lack thereof. Conflict of interest rules in the public sphere mainly focus on financial relationships, since they are relatively more objective, fungible, quantifiable, and usually involve political, legal, and medical fields. In politics, regulatory capture, that's what we're experiencing here, is a form of corruption of authority that occurs when a political entity, policymaker, or regulator is co-opted to serve commercial, ideological, or political interests of a minor constituency, such as a particular geographic area, industry, profession, or ideological group. You have proven conflict of interest, so anything that the state of Hawaii Supreme Court acknowledges or claims, whether it's Fergustrom, Kilauea, Tamashiro, Lorenzo, whatever, it's conflict of interest. How are you guys going to address the fact that conflict of interest is involved right now? We can't move forward until you can prove there is no conflict of interest in this so-called lawful conclusion that you're arriving at. We can't even move forward.
Is that your entire statement?
For right now.
Well, no, because I'm going to start the trial. So I'm going to deny your motion.
I'm not
Your
motioning,
request.
Judge
I'm going
Law.
to deny whatever your request is.
I'm not
So,
requesting. I'm
gonna
requiring.
invoke the witness
I'm
exclusionary
requiring,
rule.
Judge Law. I'm requiring that you show me how this is not conflict of interest.
Denied. So we're going to start. So, Mr. Tamashiro, I have to
Perjured
advise
your
you.
oath. You,
if
bro,
you're
you should
not
be
a
arresting this
citizen of the
Wahine right
United
now.
States, whether or not
I-
you have lawful immigration status, you have the right to receive advice from your attorney
You
about
heard
the
me, right?
specific impact that this case will have, if any,
heard me.
on your immigration status.
Oh, you
The
guys
entry
heard
of a guilty or no contest plea, admission of guilt or sufficient facts, or conviction, deferred judgment,
Conflict of
or
interest.
deferred sentence may have the consequences of your immediate
heard me
detention,
too.
deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization.
I'm not in the
pursuant to
United
laws of the
States.
United States. In some cases, detention and deportation from the United States.
Can
will
you
be
prove I'm in the
required.
United States,
Your lawyer
Judge
must
Law?
investigate and advise you about these issues prior
You
to
about the
commencement
law
of
now.
trial, entry of a guilty or no contest plea, or admission of guilt or sufficient facts to any offense punishable as a crime under state law, other than those offenses designated as infractions. You're not required to disclose your immigration or citizenship status to the court. Mr. Tamashiro, do you need additional time to speak to a lawyer regarding your immigration rights?
Where did we all wake up this morning?
Do you need additional time to speak to a lawyer regarding your immigration rights?
You're trespassing on my rights again, Judge Laubach. I'm making a claim.
So
and
are
I've
you,
just
are you
proven it.
asking time to get a lawyer to talk to your lawyer about?
I'm asking that you
immigration
honor your oath, Judge Laubach. The highest law in the land.
rights? Let me see, let me see.
Please,
So,
honor your oath.
I'm gonna look. All right.
Now you're going to threaten me.
So, no, I'm
Good.
just trying to see if in your motion you make any, statements regarding your immigration rights. So I'm just looking to see. All right, so based upon your motion that was filed on May 2nd, 2023, it doesn't appear you have any, immigration rights concerns.
Where
So
did we
I'm
all
gonna
wake
note
up this
that.
morning?
And then Mr. Sun, you wanna orally arraign him? Thank you. So hold on, so Mr. Tomashiro, Mr. Sun's gonna read out loud what was on the complaint that was previously served to you. Go ahead, Mr. Sun. All right, Mr. Tomashiro, how do you plead as to count one?
I do not plead to anybody who has not proven lawful jurisdiction.
All right.
I cannot. I'm obligated not to. And I object to the whole statement and the basis of the statement that Mr. Sohn just read, because once again, I keep writing over all of his charging instruments that Hawaii is under 130 years of U.S. corporate military occupation, and he needs to rebut that, because that is the most fundamental nature of my claim. And he or anybody who's going to charge me or threaten me or talk to me, they're going to have to respond to that. Are you ready to respond to that, Mr. Song?
No.
Are you ready?
So, Mr.
No,
Tomashiro,
what?
you don't address the prosecutor.
Why not?
I'm
He's the
asking-
guy charging me.
I'm asking you.
Okay, well, you
plead.
ask him then to
No,
please.
No, I won't. So
Why
as to-
not?
as
Why
to
not,
counts
Judge
1
Lama?
and 2, how do you plead? Guilty?
I
not
don't
guilty?
plead. I can't plead. I
Okay,
can't
so
plead.
hold
You
on,
don't.
hold on.
You've not proven jurisdiction.
Okay. So the court will take.
Have you
initial
proven
notice,
jurisdiction,
hold
Judge
on,
Laubach?
Of HRS 806-50, as well as O'Ryman case ORIE
Judge Laubach.
versus Territory 13 Hawaii 413, a 1901 case. So I'm gonna note, Mr. Tomashiro, you're refusing to enter a plea.
No,
gonna
I'm not
enter
pleading.
A not guilty plea to counts
No,
1
you
and
can't
2.
do that. I'm here.
doing that.
I'm here, and I'm telling you, you can't. So you think you own me then?
I'm
Do
entering
you,
a-
do you have a contract that shows
Okay.
that my unalienable rights are like thrown out the window, Judge Laubach?
Okay, so. Mr.
Well, are you acting in the law right now, Judge Laubach? Are you acting lawfully now?
So if you listen to what I'm citing, what cases
I'm
relying
challenging-
upon,
I'm challenging-
That's the basis for why I'm able to do what I'm able to do.
Okay, and
Okay.
you cited State of
So
Hawaii
I'm gonna
and
invoke
United
the
States
witness
courts.
exclusionary rule.
That's conflict of interest.
I'm invoking the witness exclusionary rule, so I don't see other members.
You're
of the
harming
public
me now.
present. So if any of your witnesses come in while the hearing is ongoing, I'm gonna ask that you tell them to remain outside unless and until they're called to
Yeah.
testify. So Mr. Tomashiro, I also have to go over what's called your Tachibana rights. All right, so, and that is your constitutional right to testify and your constitutional right not to testify. So, Mr. Tomashiro, you have a constitutional right to testify in your own defense. It is your decision. No one can prevent you from testifying should you choose to do so. If you do decide to testify, the prosecutor will be allowed to cross-examine you. You also have a constitutional right not to testify and to remain silent. If you choose not to testify, the court cannot hold your silence against you in deciding your case. If you have not testified by the end of the trial, I will briefly question you. Do you understand what is your right, constitutional right to testify and not to testify? You
Proof
understand that?
proof of unlawful trespass and perjuring of the United States Constitution has already been confirmed. What are you
So,
asking me now?
Mr.
This is
Mr.
all under
Tomashiro,
duress.
Describe,
And he is perjuring hers
Mr.
oath by not arresting you people.
Mr. Tomashiro,
I made a
explain to
claim.
me what you believe is your constitutional right to testify. What does that mean to you? Your constitutional right to testify. What does that mean?
I have God-given rights to substantive due process and full disclosure.
What does testify mean?
What is what?
What does testify mean? Do you know what to
Testify what? For me to share my mana'o? I'm sharing my mana'o, I'm making my claim, and I'm bringing my evidence, not just my own evidence to prove where we all woke up this morning in an occupied country, but to require you and him and anybody else that says that the state of Hawaii has lawful title to Kamehameha statue, or anywhere in Hawaii for that matter, but we'll just focus on Kamehameha statue in Hilo. Bring the proof. Now,
Mr.
on my
Tomashiro,
video,
I'm going
what?
over what I'm trying to see. if
No,
you
you're
understand
trespassing on my
what
rights.
your constitutional right to testify, not to testify. So if you were to take the stand, come right up here, testify and say what happened, who gets to ask you
Yeah,
questions?
this is a kangaroo court at this point. I'm just doing
So
this
in court, I want to focus on the word court. So when you're in court and you take the stand,
kangaroo court.
so when you take the stand, who can ask you questions? If you decide to say what happens, who can ask you questions? Do you know?
Anybody can ask me
Good.
questions.
Perfect. Okay. So whose decision is it for you to take the stand?
Well, what choice are you giving me? What choice are
So
you giving?
Giving me. So good. It's your choice. Is that correct?
My choice
your
is to
choice
be lawful
to
as God is my
testify.
witness, and you're not being lawful. You and these gentlemen here.
Okay.
And actually, these gentlemen who have guns on their hip
So
are being
I need
unlawful
you-
because they're
okay.
being witness
Stop
to
yelling.
you guys trespassing on my
Stop.
God-given
We
rights.
can all hear you.
All rights reserved. All rights reserved. I speak the truth wherever I go.
Okay.
Okay?
So you understand that if you choose not to testify, that I cannot hold it against you. You understand?
You cannot hold nothing against me, Judge
Okay.
Waba. You have
Okay.
not proven lawful jurisdiction.
All right.
Nobody's charged me
Okay.
with actually doing any harm.
Okay. So
Kangaroo Court.
we're gonna start. Mr. Sun, call your first witness.
Yes.
I received a phone call
Okay,
from two of my caretakers
okay. A caretaker is for where?
for Wailoa State Park,
Okay,
informing me that there were some people planting some plants.
was anyone specifically identified?
Yes,
Okay, who was identified?
Gene Tamashiro.
Okay, and this was a phone call from one of your maintenance personnel?
Two of them actually,
Two of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall what their names were?
Ted and Joe.
Do you know their last name?
Ted Nakashima, Jody Whitney, Joe Whitney.
And what did you do in response to that?
So they called you to inform me, and then I had them make sure that they call Don't Care Law Enforcement.
And then what else did you do?
That's it.
Okay. Are you aware of whether Mr. Tamashiro had a permit for December 18, 2002? For
Was I
Wailoa?
aware? Yeah, there was no permit. They'll be referred to as a special use permit.
So there was no special use
No.
permit? The area of Wailoa State Park, were you aware of what happened on December 18, 2022?
The area?
Mhm.
Yes, it was by, I believe, by the community statue area.
So this is within the District of South Hilo County and State of Hawaii?
Correct,
Now, Kamehameha Statue area, that's all within Wailoa State Park?
correct.
Can you generally describe what that area looks like?
The statue area?
Yes, the area where
There's
the
a statue, and then there is the bridge there that goes from Front Street Yard to Wailoa Center area.
Now, is it, describe, if you can describe the general area, is it like wooded or
No,
forested
it's
or
like an
jungle?
open area, like a grassy area.
But how large is that area along the?
The area that the plants were being planted.
Okay,
Or in general, I don't know, half an acre maybe?
and that's all within Wailoa State
Correct.
Park? And Wailoa State Park is within the jurisdiction of the state of Hawaii?
Yes,
And it's owned by the state of Hawaii?
yes.
Aloha, Jeremy.
Hi, Jen.
Real simple questions. Jeremy, does the truth matter in your life? What do you mean? Does the truth matter?
So
I'm not allowed to ask questions?
I'll allow it.
How can you not? Does the truth matter? Yeah, okay, well,
To
answer
be
me.
argumentative, that's how I could not. But I'm
So
gonna
you
allow
asked
it.
me, does-
Pardon me?
Does the truth matter?
Absolutely, that's my question.
So you asked me how I feel about that?
No, I'm asking you, does the truth matter
Sure.
we're in a controversy right now.
All right,
Does the truth matter?
sure.
Thank you. Okay, would you say that anyone who's going to require a permit has the ability to prove lawful title and jurisdiction. If you guys require a permit from some guy like me, you're able to prove lawful title and jurisdiction. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, they again, I don't speak. I don't understand the
Sustained.
question.
It's
I mean,
compound.
can you require anything of anybody, like in this case, land use, without proof of lawful title?
I
Objection,
don't understand that question.
foundation.
Sustained. You want to rephrase it?
Huh?
What is required for a special use permit?
What is required?
Yeah. What do they, in
Well,
order
That's
to
not
get
my
the
question,
Well,
but,
okay.
I mean, if you had lawful title, then I'll sign up for a permit. But I know, because no one on the other side of this question
Objection.
has ever brought forward proof of
Sustained.
lawful title.
Sustained. Okay.
Okay,
Next
what?
question. I sustained it. Next question.
Ooh, well, thank you very much. Okay, so you said the Aina is owned by the state of Hawaii. I heard you say that. Is that correct?
As far as I know, yes. I mean, what
Is
they-
owned, lawfully owned by the state of Hawaii,
That's
as
what
far as you know.
that's what I've been told.
Okay, that's what you've been told. I was told that when I was born too. So do you have access to that proof? How do we get that proof? Since that's a claim that you claim.
Do I have access?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh, yet you don't have access.
I don't have access.
Does anybody in your work environment have access?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I
before.
would have to check with, I guess, my upper supervisors.
Okay, you know, you're part of the group of people that kidnapped me without proof of lawful title.
Objection.
That's not even a question. I mean, we're
Well,
trying to ask
okay,
questions,
well, so once again, if you're able, I guess my question will be this: will you be able to acquire proof of lawful title in the next 24 hours?
Objection, relevant foundation.
Sustained.
Can you require me having a permit if you cannot prove lawful title? Can you actually require anybody to do anything on the Aina if you cannot prove lawful title?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't understand.
I don't understand.
So
Hey, I'm asking him.
sustained is compound. I'm gonna sustain it.
So you're saying I cannot ask that question?
You gotta rephrase it.
Okay, how about this? If 130 years ago, someone stole, let's say 5 years. 5 years ago, somebody stole my car, painted a different color, yeah? Tell everybody, yeah, this is my car, this is my car. But in fact, proof that the car was stolen. Does the car belong to the guy who went painted? Does it be, I mean, is there ever a statute of limitation on fraud?
I'll object.
Again, I don't
So
understand.
hold on. I'm gonna say
I'll keep it
it's beyond-
simple.
it's
Is
beyond
there
the
a
scope of
statute of
direct.
limitation on fraud?
How is that relevant?
I'm not
How is
aware.
that
Well, I'm
relevant?
saying
So-
it's fraud.
so
Well, how is it
sustained.
relevant? I'm saying that
It's
land
beyond the scope of direct as well,
is beyond the scope of what?
of direct examination.
Why is it beyond the scope? Why, if truth is sovereign, or is, well, you said truth matters, right?
Yes.
Okay, truth matters. So proof of lawful title is required, correct?
Is that what's required before somebody gets a special use permit?
Proof of lawful title. If I'm challenging the title, you guys gotta prove it.
So, I mean, the only way I can answer that is if someone wants to hold, for example, if they want a permit for a pavilion.
A
And they wanted
pavilion?
to do extra. For example, like maybe set up a tent or set up chairs. Then they need to let us know what they want to do in a like an application. It comes to us, we read it over, and we review it, and then we say yes or no.
Okay, next
That is
question.
basically how you get a special use permit.
No, that's not my question. My question
Well,
is.
that's what you asked me.
Okay, now I'm asking you a more fundamental question. If you or anybody is going to require that somebody else got to get permission, then the so-called authority requiring that must be able to possess and present proof of lawful title. Would you agree?
Object, Your Honor, I think this is actually an answer.
Again,
at this
for a
point.
special use permit,
Laura, is that what's required?
Yeah, isn't
Oh,
it?
no, be quiet. Is that what's required?
To prove, I mean,
I'm confused by the question as well, but I want to see if you know, do you understand what
I
he's
don't
asking you?
understand what he's saying.
Okay, is it lawful that you require anybody to fill out your permission paperwork?
Okay, stop right
If
there.
the,
See that?
because you did say the state of Hawaii owns that Aina. You said you don't have the proof of that.
I don't.
Okay, can you produce that proof? Because I've already been kidnapped for that. And so you're obligated, don't you think? Aren't you? Will you, let me ask you this, will you pursue proof of title to that Aina right there? What you guys call TMK,
He's going to testify to that.
TMK 322003003. Can you prove that the state of Hawaii, because you're connected with these people, right?
I work for the state.
Okay, so, well, actually,
That's his answer.
that's
He
fine.
works
You
for the
work,
state.
you work for the state, but nobody is above the law. So if you work for the state and you're actually promoting a lie, we need to correct that. We're here to pursue the truth. Hey, we're here to pursue the truth.
I don't understand. I don't know that.
So,
that was a-
Okay, once
what's the
again,
question?
you said you don't have proof of title and you are able to find that proof, correct? You'll make that effort.
I didn't say that.
Will you make
You
that
didn't say
effort,
that.
sir?
Was that?
Will you make the effort to procure the proof that you guys own that Aina?
It's not my job.
I'll tell you why it's your job.
That-
Let me
no,
tell
no,
you.
no, no, no. That's his
But,
response.
hey, I've been
So-
harmed because of that lack of due
Don't
process.
respond. Don't respond. Okay, that's his answer. Next question. Hey, stop
Bruh.
that. Don't, no.
Yeah, that's
Stop.
right,
Hey,
'cause I've been harmed.
Mr. Tomashiro, stop that. You're bordering on intimidating a witness.
Hey, you
Stop
guys
that.
got the guns.
You're the one asking him the questions.
Yeah,
He
you're
goes,
asking the
"Look,
question, and you
stop
said
it."
you said
Calm
that you
calm
said
yourself.
no. Don't worry about your job.
Mr.
We got you
Tomashiro,
covered.
Don't respond, Mr. Tomashiro. First, no, don't respond. First, I need you to dial it down.
Oh,
like
man.
50%.
If you was in my
Stop.
seat-
Stop. I'm
Okay,
going to tell
okay.
you, intimidating a witness is a felony offense punishable by prison. Stop.
I've been
Stop.
in jail
He's,
for this
He's
already.
answering the questions. While you may not like the answers, that does not mean you get
Okay,
your
it's
dirty
all on the
looks,
public record.
Raise,
No problem.
Raise your voice, use a tone. We don't do that. That's his answers. You have any other questions?
You told me that truth matters, and I appreciate that.
For the third time, yes.
Okay. So if you and your people,
My people.
the people you work for, the state of Hawaii, the DLNR,
He doesn't work
you
for
guys,
anyone.
okay, are you going to talk to your colleagues and produce the evidence that you guys own that Aina lawfully?
Objection relevant.
I'm just asking a simple.
Sustain. It's not
See,
relevant.
you see where this is going. I'm just asking you a simple question. I was born into this just like you. And so I'm just asking, since you guys are requiring everybody to do whatever, and a lot of it designed with good intention and good management, cool. That is porno. But in the end, you're going to have to prove lawful title. Why? Because I'm challenging it.
Is there a
and I bring
question,
it,
or is
okay,
this
so,
sounds
so
more
my
like just
question to you,
testifying?
and please, let him answer. Are you going to procure the true title of that Aina that you guys are standing on?
Objection relevant.
Sustained. He doesn't have to answer that. If I sustain the objection, he does not need to answer. You have any other questions? Any other questions for Mr. Ganzian? Next witness.
Yeah, so we'll call Officer Derek Kalai.
Okay. And yeah, we'll sanitize the witness then.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give in the matter before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated. Please state your name and spell it for us.
My name is Derek Kalai, spelled Derekkkalai.
Mr. Sun.
Mr. Kalai, who are you employed by?
I'm employed by the state of Hawaii, DLNR, DOCARE,
And what does DLNR stand for?
the Department of Land and Natural Resources.
Okay, and what does DOCARE mean?
DOCARE is the Division of Conservation and Resource Enforcement.
Were you still employed and on duty on December 18, 2022?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and what was your assignment on that date?
I was assigned to the East Hawaii District Patrol.
Okay, and that's within the District of South Hilo County and State of Hawaii?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and you received a call that day or something?
Yeah, I received a call from
Okay.
State Parks Administrator, or one of the State Parks caretakers.
Okay, and can you describe generally what that call was about?
They called us indicating that there were some people down at the area by the statue. They were planting miscellaneous types of shrubbery.
Did you take any photographs that day?
I did not recover photographs, but another officer took the photographs.
Okay.
I did not. I was the arresting officer.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm showing Mr. Tamashiro what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit number 3.
Okay, number 3.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I've seen that.
Application.
May I approach the?
Yes.
Yeah, so please look at this, and then I'm going to ask you a question about it. What is State's Exhibit number 3? Not what's in it, but what is it?
It's a photograph, or it's a replica of a photograph.
Okay. A photo or a copy of a photo, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And do you recognize what's the photograph?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what does it show?
It's a depiction of the area that I observed Mr. Tamashiro planting the flags.
Okay. Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the area that you observed on December 18, 2022?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Any changes, edits, or additions?
No.
Your Honor, so we'll move into evidence State's Exhibit number 3.
Any objection?
Is it my turn?
So he's, not yet. He's asking the court to receive into evidence number 3 for identification. You have any objection?
I object. At this point, I object to the whole proceeding because the state has not produced a lawful treaty of annexation or lawful title to the Aina at Kamehameha statue. So until you do that, this is all just kangaroo court.
All right, so I'll note the state has laid the proper foundation over defendant's objection. I shall receive it into evidence.
Aloha, Derek. Have you ever made a mistake in your life?
I have.
Objection relevant.
He's answered it. He said I have. All right. Go ahead.
Did you swear an oath to the United States Constitution to serve and protect in the truth and the law?
I did.
Thank you. Do you feel you are honoring that oath?
Objection relevant.
Um,
Objection.
Well,
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
do you feel you're honoring the oath
Yes,
in the truth and the law?
I believe so.
If I can show you, or if these proceedings can show you that what you thought to be true is actually not true, what would you do?
Objection. Compound, vague, and ambiguous, relevant.
Well, it's not only a yes and no question, it's just a
Sustained.
question. What would you do
Sustained.
if proof can be shown that you operated actually and you enforced outside of the law? What would you do?
Objection.
I sustain the objection. Next question.
Does the state require people to get a permit when doing activity on the Aina?
The State of Hawaii Department of Land and Natural
Yep.
Resources, State Parks Division requires a permit
Okay.
to introduce new plants and excavate any ground within the park.
Any kind of activities like that, okay?
Yes.
do you presume by that authority that the state possesses lawful title to the Aina near Kamehameha statue?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained. Next question.
Could anybody require somebody else to go through their regulations and, particularly for land, if indeed the regulating body did not have proof of lawful title? Do they actually have lawful authority to require, in this case, permit?
Objection, foundation, relevance.
Sustained. Sustained.
Are you able to produce proof that the state of Hawaii has lawful title and jurisdiction to the Aina near Kamehameha statue? Are you able to prove that?
I can produce documents that indicate the land area situated in that area does belong to the state of Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources, and it's managed by State Parks right now.
Okay. If a fraud has occurred, is there any statute of limitation on fraud?
Objection, foundation, relevance.
Sustained.
If I stole your car and I painted it a different color
Objection, relevant. Argument.
and I wanted to rent it out to somebody, is that still a stolen car?
Sustained the objection.
Okay. So you said you can produce proof that the state of Hawaii has some regulations that announces that they have lawful title and jurisdiction.
I think that misstates his testimony. I'm going to sustain that objection.
Okay. Did you see the packet and the notice that I sent to Branch Chief Lawrence Turlip? Did you see that packet? Did he show it to you?
I did not see that, sir.
Okay. That packet went to the mayor, to the head of the county council, to the police chief, to the corporate council, to the DLNR head, and to Lawrence Turlip. You did not see the packet.
He already answered that. He said no.
Okay.
What's the question?
So I will tell you in that packet.
Oh, no. So you can't tell him what it said. I mean, he said he never saw it.
Well,
So ask
okay.
the
Well,
question.
in that packet, there is a state law. It's called HRS 172-11.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Township is testifying.
Sustained.
In HRS 172-11, it states,
We'll move to
hey
trial.
man, you're interrupting me.
So I'm going to sustain the objection. Next question. Ask him if he testified.
Okay,
he saw
can I
these things. Ask
can
him
I
about
ask
that.
you, Derek, have you ever heard of HRS 172-11?
Objection, relevant.
Sustained. I mean, you can ask him what he testified on direct, right? I mean, he testified he saw
No,
you
I'm
remove
asking
with
him
your
a legit-
hands
it's a
the ground
legitimate
covering.
question,
I mean,
Judge
ask
Lawbuck,
him
because
questions.
I'm even citing state law, even though the state cannot prove lawful jurisdiction because they don't have a treaty of annexation.
Mr.
But I'm citing a law that's on the books in your corporation. And have you ever heard of 172-11?
Have you ever heard of that?
I'll be honest, I cannot, unless I went and looked for it right now, I wouldn't be able to say I did.
No problem. I understand. It's kind of hidden. But it is a law that exists, and in that law, it makes it very clear that the state cannot alienate Aina that was awarded through the LCA Land Commission Award in 1848. And if that law exists, wouldn't you say, and it does exist, don't you think that's an important question to find out, well, who actually owns that land? Is it relevant? Is it relevant?
I'll object to the form of the question and relevance.
I'm going to sustain it. I already addressed any and all issues regarding your motion to dismiss before we started trial, so I'm going to sustain
I'm not
it.
motioning to dismiss. I'm asking a legitimate question about lawful title, and I'm asking if state law, and it's on the books, if the state law prohibits the state in which you work for from alienating Aina See, I got the blessing of Naohana. I got the blessing of the people related to Victoria Kamamalu. And state law prohibits alienating Naohana from that Aina. Now, if I could show you that, I'm showing you more proof. Would you agree that I am actually showing you proof that the controversy to who owns that Aina has not been resolved?
On the objective upon the question, we'll move to strike. Objective has
Sustained, so stricken.
Pay attention, bro.
It's Mr.
Okay.
Thomas Sherrill, so you need to stop that.
What are you talking
You're
about?
tampering. When you say pay attention, bro, stop that.
Because he's a brother.
Stop that. You're verging on intimidating and tampering with a witness.
I'm intimidating him. Excuse me.
Stop that. Next question.
Okay.
You're lucky this is not jury trial. Stop it.
This is Kangaroo Court. I'm making that
I'm
claim.
letting that comment slide. Just keep
Oh,
going.
no.
Next
Okay.
question. Next question.
All right. In the notification, that Judge Hawk and Prosecutor Cooper had agreed that the information regarding true. Can you let me finish?
No, I'm going to stop. So what you're going after, I'm going to sustain. I'm striking that from the record.
Well, I'll just say this. If Judge Hawk actually dismissed with prejudice, don't you think, yes or no, that is relevant to this case?
objection foundation.
Sustained.
Once again, I'm glad everything's recorded. I'm telling you, and I make the claim, this is a Kangaroo Court. You are purging your oath to the United States Constitution. I make a claim. Prosecution must respond and rebut to the claim. He hasn't done that. So everything going forward is Kangaroo Court. I don't lawfully have to show up. If you guys kidnap me again, it's on you.
Song going out to all those who came before us, leading the way, paving the way for us. And for all those who follow, all the way to Hawaii 3000.
If just for a day our king and queen
Could see what happened to the land that they once ruled. Would they smile at what they see? Hey, y'all, where they used to pray. Kahakai, where they used to play. Now they see the fences telling them to keep away.
all the fighting that the king had done.
He sees his kingdom now divided. Everybody trying to be number one. Every group got their own agenda. They all say that the way is better. Self-determination can be achieved if we all just come together.
Tears would come from each other's eyes.
How would rally when we hear their crash? Our prince's will is not fulfilled, and he cuts like a knife, and the queen says at the palace where she was kept a prisoner for more than a year of her life.
Could you just imagine if they came back?
And saw so many of Ohane and Wahine losing the fight with Isaac Crack. They'd see so little pure Hawaiians left and wonder, will there be any of us left with the blood 100 years from now? We could tell them there's so many things to blame it on, but can we truly say we did our best to make sure we live on? So I'll do my part right now and make sure that the world will hear voices of my people standing proud and singing clear. One time.
Could you just imagine if they were right?
So these highways and byways got me tripping sideways on these black top mazes. Tears leaving traces like scars on our faces. Tell me what's the basis, man, for killing my oasis? If you was gone for a while, you wouldn't recognize these faces. Cause these people politic like they can't tie their shoelaces. I see you with your two faces, your screw faces. Wake up and realize that I'm talking true cases. I ain't a racist, but isn't desecrating land that's sacred? Cause for hatred. It's been building up and now I just can't take it.
I just can't take it.
And so I'm speaking my peace in hopes that we can keep it peaceful. Cause if we go to war, I'ma rise up and die for my people. I cry for my people, spit this message for my people. From the pasture to the steeple, pray for blessings for my people. I live for my people, I die for my people. Make music for my people to make a difference. For my people.
For all people